Hey everybody, congratulations on finishing week 1. So I'm gonna bring up a few points on some of the exercises that we did in week 1 that you guys will see again in week 2. Some of the stuff that I'm giving to you is based on stuff that I've heard from you guys throughout the week in regards to some of the exercises. So let's get right into it. The first one I want to talk about is the front squat. All right, so the front squat is in there. It's written as a barbell exercise. It can be difficult, right? So if it's hard on your wrists, or you can't get the bar in contact with your body when you're doing your front squats, then we're gonna substitute to either a goblet squat or 2 dumbbells on the front squat. So we want to still try to load in the front. That's the challenging part. If the barbell is no good for you, what I want you to try first, next on the list will be 2 dumbbells, right? We're gonna keep them up. You can also do this with kettlebells. But what we're looking for here is that we can still get the elbows up in front of us, right? So it's not as hard on the wrists, doesn't take as much shoulder mobility to get that barbell on there. So we can do it easier with the dumbbells. So I want you to go dumbbells, trying to keep the elbows high. When we squat, we want to keep our chest up while we work this front squat, all right? So another thing for you guys, if that barbell or any of these implements is really causing you to dip forward as you front squat, and that chest is kind of falling and rising each time, we want to try and avoid that. So let's either switch the load, maybe from 2 dumbbells to 1, or maybe use a box or a bench behind us to help us stay up while we squat. I'm going to give you guys a couple mobility pieces that you can do to help improve that front rack position, so that if you work on these pieces, potentially down the road, you get to a point where you can hold that barbell, all right? So first one I have for you, this is going to stretch out a lot of the forearms and your wrists. So you'll be on the floor. We're going to get into this quadruped position here. Really simply, we're going to rotate our hands around. So we'll go from the floor like this. We're going to turn them upside down. All right, with my fingers pointing back at myself now, I'm already feeling a stretch in this position in my forearms. If you guys are more flexible, then you're just going to carefully and slowly shift your weight back. So as the body moves back, that stretch in the forearms is going to increase. You guys can hold this 20-30 seconds. Don't let it hurt. Be easy if you're getting into this. That will help loosen up the forearms. The second exercise I'm going to give to you guys, this is very similar to a child's pose. It's a prayer stretch. So you use a foam roller. You can do this one on a bench or chair as well. Just a little more range of motion than a child's pose on the floor. So really what we're stretching here, lats and shoulders. So we're going to use the foam roller or a bench. We're going to try and put our forearms, not our hands or wrists, on there. And then getting our arms into what is essentially an overhead position. We're going to push the chest through our shoulders and spend some time down there. So what we're looking for in this position is that the arms begin to get overhead, the chest and the head comes through the biceps, and we get some of that overhead position. This will help you guys out a lot. All of us in general are here a lot. Our arms are not going up very often. So anytime you can stretch in this position, maybe just lay down in this position, get your arms overhead. It's going to help keep the shoulders healthy, keep them mobile. All right, that's the front squat. If you guys have questions about that, send me a message. The next thing on the list, the long lever plank. So on a long lever plank, I saw some serious times on this, all right? I saw 40 seconds, 50 seconds. I saw people more than a minute. That's impressive. The long lever plank is something that I can only hold for about 20 seconds. So what I'm thinking is that we don't want it to be an elbow plank. Long lever plank is slightly different. So you're going to start in an elbow plank position, then you're going to shift your feet back or shift your hands forward. It's going to go from here in the plank to here. So you really start to open up, all right? The pressure in your core and your low back is going to be significantly increased. So what I want you guys to do is start from the elbow plank, and then explore how far can you go where this gets very challenging and you can only hold it for maybe 10 to 20 seconds. That's what we're looking for. I'm not looking for a minute of this. We're looking for more like 10, 15, 20 seconds of a very intense brace. So I'll show you guys this long lever plank. We started from the elbow position. Elbow plank, what I want you to do is get a strong elbow plank going. So get your glutes squeezed, get your core braced, and then once you have that brace, I want you to shift your feet back, shift the arms forward just a little bit. Every few inches you go, this gets a lot harder to maintain that core tightness and not let the back bow, which is what we don't want. If you guys are getting low back pain or discomfort on this long lever plank, I want you to do an elbow plank, all right? That will suffice to get that brace going, that core activated, all right? So if we're feeling pressure in the low back during a plank, We want to ease off of that, take a rest, maybe begin again, get those glutes going, the shoulders strong. We only want to hold planks for as long as we can keep the tension, all right? Plank should be very intense, should also be something you try to breathe through. So if we can breathe through a plank, we're getting a whole lot more out of it than just holding our breath and holding that position. All right, again, if that gives you back pain, I want you to go to an elbow plank. Now, next thing, dumbbell strict press. This is 2 dumbbells going directly overhead. A lot of you guys mentioned in the comments or the notes section how humbling this exercise was. A lot of people starting heavier, then realizing immediately we got to pump the brakes, pull the weight back. So just know, that's how this exercise goes. When you guys are doing these dumbbell presses overhead, every rep needs to be perfect and look exactly the same. That's going to require you to go lighter, all right? Doing that will allow the latter reps of the sets in those latter sets to fatigue the delts how we want to in a safe way, and load the shoulders specifically and not be getting everything else into this. We don't want to lean back a whole lot, all that extra movement. So it's hard to go overhead, so you guys keep those weights light. We're going to keep developing that pattern, and the strength will come in a few weeks there. Last thing I wanted to touch on was push-ups. When push-ups are in your upper body workouts, it's an AMRAP, so it's as many reps as you guys can do. What I would encourage you to do, a lot of us, is elevate our hands on the push-ups. So maybe we're doing them with our hands on a bench or on a barbell that's up off the ground, because I want you to get more reps, all right? We need push-ups are a body weight exercise, which are challenging, but we want to do more of them. And if we're on the floor and our AMRAP, our as many reps as possible is only 6, 7, it's not enough. We want to pump those numbers up. So what I want you to do is bring your hands up onto a bench, chair, or barbell, and see if you can't get 10, 15, 20 push-ups, all right? So even if you're on that 10 push-up side on the floor, I challenge you to bring your hands up a little bit and let's pump up the volume as far as reps on the push-ups goes. If you guys have questions about push-ups, I would love to give you specific feedback. Couple things you can think about right here. Remember, we don't want our arms very wide on the push-ups. We don't want them hugging our sides either. We want to be right in between. You can stick about a fist in the armpit there. That's about the angle you want to push from. All right, the other thing, upper back. Push-up happens from a plank position, so you guys should be squeezing your core, squeezing your glutes, and your upper back. So stabilizing the shoulders, then get to pushing. If you can, you're going to lock those shoulders into position. They're not going to move as much. It's going to take them out of the equation a little bit. You're going to be able to focus on the triceps and the chest, which is what we want with the push-ups. All right, I hope this video is helpful. If you guys have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments so everybody can get the feedback from it. And guys, look for more of these in the future. I can give you more of these as you guys continue to give me more feedback on the exercises and the workouts specifically. All right, great work, guys. Let's crush week number 2.